What's up, guys? This is Charaz again, and yesterday I think Blizzard released a new beta build for Warlords of Draenor, for the Warlords of Draenor beta actually, and it contained two more. Wow, the lags. Okay, it contained two more dungeons, and this is one of them. It's Skyreach. It's called Skyreach, and it's it reminds me. What is this guy? What is happening to this guy? Okay. Reminds me to these Arakoa areas in Burning Crusade. I really like them, and the models are actually also Arakoa. And I've been here one time before as a destruction warlock, but I decided to play affliction in this dungeon. Well, I decided to play all dungeons in with different specs. Like I think I will play 3 of those dungeons in Demonology, and 2 in Affliction, and 2 as a Destruction Warlock. Thus you can see how the Warlock specs are going to change for Warlords of Draenor, and also there's going to be some it's going to be more interesting. And also there is this new level 90 talent. It's Soulburn Horned, and it keeps a some kind of a buff on you, and I really need to keep it up right now. I really need to track that somehow, because it's actually half past like half past 12 AM, and I'm quite tired. But anyways, it's not a hard class anymore. Affliction is not a hard spec anymore. Thus, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be easy. And yeah, as I said before, I've been here before one time, so I know the bosses, and I will tell you some stuff about those bosses before or while actually defeating them. Hopefully, yeah. I always forget about that. It's interesting. Just wanted to show you that. It's an interesting animation and all that. And what I can tell you now is that we're going to see some very interesting bosses. Some of these bosses are very interesting, and there is 1 or 2 bosses that aren't actually that interesting. We're going to see them whatsoever. But I think 1 or 2 bosses in this dungeon actually lack some abilities. Like the final boss of the Shadow Moon Burial Grounds, which I actually use as an example quite often, as I will do now. Oh, fucked up my agony. Anyways, I think the Affliction Warlock is also I think the Affliction Warlock is quite weak right now when it comes to the pure damage it deals. The dots are taking for... If you compare it to a Shadow Priest, for example, Shadow Priests have the capability of hitting with their Mind Blast for 20k. And if you compare it to Warlocks, I mean, Warlocks haven't been hard hitting, Affliction Warlocks haven't been hard hitting. I need to... yeah, okay, whatsoever. Affliction Warlocks haven't been hard hitting any time, but I think this is quite weak. If you look at the damage it deals. I mean, it's level 95. No, we're scaled from 90 to level 97 actually, and dots are taking for like 1k at max, and that is actually really weak. Except for Haunt. Haunt is critting quite high. It's a very hard hitting ability right now. Yeah, I think the numbers have to be, or will get addressed. They will get tweaked. I hope they will get tweaked, because the Demonology Warlock is also very, very soft hitting right now. I mean, Soulfire crits for 6k. At least it did in the Shadow Moon Burial Grounds, which I've already tried, but my group failed miserably, and therefore I will have to record it at a later time. Why? does he want to die? I don't understand that. Maybe it's bugged. I believe it's bugged. Anyways. Okay. Let's just buff him all over and try to kill that trash. Holy shit. Oh, I need to make myself a Soulburn Soul Swap macro, because sometimes you can still use it for an opener of trash groups, because these mobs or these enemies don't usually live very long, and therefore you want to get your dots rolling early enough. But on every other occasion, I think he's lagging. I think he's just lagging. Whatever. On every other occasion, well, I just forgot what I was talking about. Anyways, so this boss is going to be very interesting, and the tank is jumping right in there. All he does, the whole fight, he's going to. I should actually get my ratio running, and I'm still thinking I should snapshot my dots. Whatever. He's going to summon those blades, and they won't despawn, so they will fill the room sometime if the boss is living for some time, if it doesn't instantly die. And then he has this ability, fills up the whole room with saw blades that are turning, and you need to avoid them. And if the room is actually full of these blades, full of that stuff, it's going to be very hard to avoid them. And I find that really interesting. It's quite a straightforward boss, because he doesn't have any other ability than those things. Oh, what he does do is charge you, and then you can't fall down, and I'm losing my agony stacks, which is actually very bad. And then you actually fall down on the side of the platform. Yeah. If he hits you and you stand too close to the abyss. And yeah, that's all he does. But if the room is full of these things, of these little saw blades, and he does this huge saw blade ability, you're gonna get wrecked. So you need to be quite fast of killing him. And this is gonna be very interesting in the heroic mode of this boss. And I wanted to do something actually. Gonna do it later on. Doesn't matter. And yeah, this tank actually seems to know the dungeon. He wants to pull this this guy, the Raven, down here, because he's he also has the ability of pushing people down the platform. Or what he also does sometimes is throwing you into the other trash group, and then you have to deal with both trash groups, which actually sucks. You're gonna die then. Just saying. And oh god. Where's the... oh, that's the Raven. We need to kill that Raven. I hope this is not going to be a wipe, and if it's a wipe, please don't leave. If people are leaving, that's actually devastating. Because you can't find new people. So I really hope they're gonna stay. And I don't have a problem with wiping in these dungeons, because they're new, people don't know them, and yeah, you need to get used to the mechanics, especially of the trash, and stuff like pushing people down some platform is actually very annoying. I think that people will still be dying from this when like the second tier of raiding in Warlords of Draenor has been released. People will still die to this. That happens. Okay. Let's try it again. just getting my Soulbone Haunt up and trying to get my dots and everything. I'm still using the Soul Swap. I don't think it's the right way of doing that, because let's disorient him. I don't think that's the right way of doing that, because fuck, he's going to have this shit. Ah, come on! What? It's supposed to disorient people. It's really supposed to disorient people. Like, what is this? That's what they wanted to change about the fear. Like they wanted people to stay at their at where they were in PvP, for example, and therefore I don't think it is. I don't think this is normal. I mean, this is really annoying. Strikes fear in the enemy, disorienting it for up to 20 seconds. Guys, I fear are not supposed to run back up and add anything they see. That's so annoying. Please. Like, they wanted to nerf it for PvP, which is actually... I find this a good idea, because anytime I feared someone or mortal coiled someone in PvP, they just ran out of line of sight, and for a Destro Warlock, this is actually bad. And the fact that they wanted fear to disorient people seemed to be very nice for me, but it doesn't work. They still run. they still run to China if you fear them, and that's actually annoying. So if fear disorients them for up to 20 seconds, I think a disorient is actually mobs standing in their place and running around like confused, but not running straight towards other trash groups and adding them. Anyways, might have understood that wrong. Not going to fear anything again. Maybe I should use the glyph. Anyways. The disorient. These trash packs are actually interesting. That's where I stopped, I think. Oh, come on. Didn't even face him. This trash is actually annoying. But it's good when it's annoying. Anyways. Let's dismiss that pet. And here's the second boss, and I think this is one of the bosses I mentioned before that lacks some abilities. Like, I will tell you what he's gonna do when we actually engage him, because it's quite a long fight. He's not going to die fast, but it's quite a boring fight. I think it's just about having good DPS and having a good healer, maybe. It's a fight about damage and healing, but it's not like you have to do something in particular. So what this boss is going to do, he's going to stand there and hit the tank for quite a lot, and then he's going to activate all these little, I refer to them as anima golems, because like it reminds me to the dark animals, who also had some of these ads. And oops, I forgot the Soulbone Haunt. That's actually bad. And yeah, he activates them, and then they like they buff him or heal him or do something with that with him, and you can, and it's the animation is a golden ray of light. There you can see it, and you need to stand between that the activated ad and the boss to interrupt that, like that, and it's going to do some damage to you, and then the boss is actually going to cast an ability called Burst, and this is going to do, I think it's going to deal increasing damage. It's actually a quite a hard hitting ability if this boss buffs himself, I think, with these golden rays or anything, or if he lives too long. That might be the case. I don't really know the mechanics of that. I just know that there is some light, some rays of light, which you have to stand in between, and then the boss is actually not hitting that hard as he would if you let this buff go through. And then he bursts, and that is going to deal some good damage to the raid or to the dungeon group. And yeah, the healer has to be pretty good to keep up with that if he's not a druid. Druids are actually very strong right now. Yeah, that's it. That's all he does. I could try to get my Soulburn Horn back up. He bursts again and then he dies. That's it. I think it's just as boring as the Affliction Warlock. As the Affliction Warlock in the whole. Really fits to that spec, I believe. I think he lacks some abilities, or in a heroic at least he needs to deal some decent damage. Like, every burst is going to force a healing cooldown or a major cooldown, and yeah, and it's going to be a real DPS race. But in normal it's actually not a very interesting boss, which is not a big problem because it's still the normal mode of that dungeon, and it's okay. I'm okay with that. But for heroic modes and even challenge modes, this boss has to get one more ability or he has to be buffed. Let's try to get some. Oh yeah, doesn't work. Okay. I did bind my abilities to other key bindings, which is why I am messing up sometimes. I don't think it's a real problem because this is still a dungeon, but it's not optimal. And yeah, this is going to be the second boss, and he also doesn't have some real abilities, like he summons an ad, which targets players and fixates on them, I believe. And when they reach the player they fixate, they're going to explode and deal some raid damage, even, or just damage to the player. And yeah, the boss just engaged. But you can really, I think you can just kite those ads and kill them. And if you don't want to kill them, you can also ignore them, I believe. But they're not doing that much damage to the raid, to the group. Let's get some soul going. And yeah, that's it. I need to buff myself. And yeah, that's it. That's all he does. Just waiting for the tank to be ready and pulling. Also, I'm always missing the Soulburn Haunt in the beginning. I need weak auras, man. I really need weak auras. And then you can either focus the ad, or you can... I think once I just stunned that ad, and then it didn't do anything. It just stood there and didn't follow someone. And I really want to get some Another chart, thank you. Because I want to get my Sylvan Haunt going. Let's stun him. And he shouldn't move. Oh, he moves. Cool. Let's execute him. And now he exploded and nothing happened, basically. I can also get out of these explosions, but anyways, I think it's gonna be interesting in Heroic because once again, you need to get a shard. Thank you. Once again, this stuff is going to do some damage. Like I'm going to kite it right now. And kill it. And now I can't do anything because I can't cast on the run. Let's just life tap there, and then he's going to summon another one. Fixating on me. Woo. Being fast as lightning. Never felt so good. And yeah. And the boss dies. I think he's also lacking in ability. He doesn't even drop loot right now. And yeah. It's not a very strong boss. And this is actually very interesting because you can't shortcut this. You can't go there because you're yeah, it's closed. Cool, haven't seen that. But if you want to shortcut there, for example, you just fall down. So you need to go through the middle. That warrior didn't make it, for example. Yeah. I fucked up too. Now I need to get back there. Ooh. Thank you, Shadow Priest. Pretty cool move. And yeah. You can fall, I think you can fall off that platform. And it's going to... I think it's going to be hilarious in random groups. I really like that. It's not serving any special purpose. It's just there and it's fun. It seems to be very, very funny. It's going to be pretty interesting, I think. Maybe it's going to be faster on Heroic and you actually need to channel movement cooldowns. But then Warlocks are going to get fucked. Because they can't move that fast. Anyways. Let's just kill that trash. This trash is actually going to protect and heal each other. Oh god, I always mess that up because I don't see the cast power. That I believe you can try to not face the guy casting that, and then you're pretty much safe with that. Let's try. Did he do it? I don't think so. I think that was. Yeah. No, he did it. I think he did it earlier too, when I faced away. So you can actually, I think you can actually try not to face it in the direction of that guy. Let's just stun all them. And then if you stun them, if you stun those golems, they stop casting and they don't heal each other or protect each other. So this guy, for example, has an ability that reduces all the damage taken, or the other one had it and protected that one. I don't really know. And it's interesting for random groups, but you don't have to kick them. And there is a lot of AoE stuns in this game, so it's not that hard, but it's also it's quite tricky. And then there's this guy. Reminding me to these things in the new Scholomans. Let's use Seed of Corruption here. I think it might do something. not exploding. That's cool. Put new dots on that guy. Use Seed of Corruption. I don't know how much DPS that deals. It might be better than just dotting everything. It might be worse. I don't have any numbers. I think it's worse, but yeah. It's much more fun. And also these guys have a share a life total, which is why you can basically single target them down, or just take longer. And all that. And then this is going to be the last boss, and this boss is actually very interesting again. Like, he's going to summon a lot of ads, and there is one ad that actually, if you remember the Lich King, the Lich King actually summoned Valkyries that tried to when do IBL? Maybe at the beginning. That tried to carry you off the platform, and this is going to happen here too. And when I played Destruction in the last time, I failed miserably at dealing enough damage to them, because Warlocks are pretty undertuned right now, I believe. And yeah, if one damage dealer gets thrown down the platform, you're basically going to wipe, I think. And there's Bloodlust. Yeah, there it is, for example. I want to get one more Sylvan Haunt up. Wow, I'm actually doing some damage to that. Might be me, might be someone else. Whatever. And there's some Golem, for example. I'm just going to dot it. And I got the aggro of it, which is fine, I believe. Let's get some portal up here. You always want to have your portal up. You always want to have an out if you get caught by one of the ads, for example. There is the Zealot again. Oh god. Please die. No, it's going to fall off. Oh. This is actually bad. I think we're lacking a... No, he made it. He made it! That's cool. That's good for us. Just going to find a better place for my portal here. Get up a new Dark Soul. For there is the third guy. Can stun him, which I will do here. And he also summons this ray that follows players, and the fire it drops, or the fire it, yeah, the fire on the ground is not gonna disappear until the boss is going to die. So this boss also has this one of these small enrage abilities. Let's kill that guy. Okay. Now it's me. Okay. I can actually do some damage to that too, which is cool. So I'm going to survive that. That is awesome. I think I'll make it. Let's just dot this guy to get me out of there, people. Thanks. Yeah, that's it basically. But it's an interesting boss. You really have to be aware of where you're standing, of your positioning, and all that stuff. For example, look at that. It's going to summon it to me again, and I'm just running away. And now it has a long time. It has a hard time carrying me to the abyss. And there's the ray again. And this guy is actually pretty good. He's just placing the fire somewhere where it can't disturb us. Going to get another Dark Soul up. So yeah, you really need to be aware of your positioning. The Golem ad needs to be tanked. And yeah, I'm going to get grabbed again. But I think I'm dealing with that thing in quite a good fashion. You have like 2 seconds or so to react to that, and I think it's enough. I think it's kind of enough time to react to being grabbed by this thing, and now he has a shield by that guy, so you need to interrupt that, I think. I can't actually, because my pet somehow doesn't respond, so I'm just going to kill it. Pets are pretty much bugged in the beta right now. And there is another guy. And I got Dark Soul again, and I got the Ray, and I didn't skill kill Drain's Cunning, and the tank died, which isn't good. That's not cool. Solar Burst. Okay. Let's kill him though. Kill him. Kill him! Yeah. It's gonna happen. He's gonna die. It's a very interesting boss, I think. And on heroic mode it's going to be even more interesting, because it's... Oh. Starting a quest, isn't it? No. Cool. Oh. Gonna get it to Khadgar. Whatever. I think this instance is, or this dungeon is very interesting. It has two bosses that are lacking one or two abilities, I believe. Like the Dark Animus guy, whatever it's called. I can actually look it up here. Arachnath, it is. Don't know what the storyline behind this is, but it appears to me like the Arako are using these constructs and stuff like that. Anyways, I think the mechanics of that boss are kind of obnoxious. I think he needs to be I think he needs either be more harder hitting, or he needs to get one more ability or two. And for that bird boss, a bird boss, this actually rhymes, whatever, Rukran, I think he's not yet finished. I think he's lacking one ability or some interaction with the ad it summons. But the first and the last boss are actually very interesting. So I think people are going to have some fun at in the heroic version of this instance, of this dungeon. And yeah, I think that's what I have to say. When it comes to the Affliction Warlock, I think this is not the final version of the Affliction Warlock either. I hope it's not the final version of the Affliction Warlock. But I'm gonna talk about that in another video. There's gonna be a class changes video about the Warlock and about every other class. Right, probably about the Warlock in the next few days, and about the other classes when I get back from my... I'm going to be on a road trip soon, and if I get back from that, there's going to be tons of videos. And if you want to watch them, and if you like watching my videos, although my English isn't the best and all that stuff, if you like watching me playing and hearing my voice, or actually just watching the video and turning the volume down, whatever you do, just leave a like and all that stuff. You know what you have to do. You have been on YouTube for a while now. Maybe even subscribe to our channel if you like that. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in a later video, maybe in the next one, which is going to cover the other dungeon. It is called Arcandin. I think it's French. Or Arcandin, whatever. I will upload that soon too. So yeah, stay tuned, and see you later then, ladies and gentlemen.